guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a great day, week, etc. I want to talk to you guys today about trust. Trust here on YouTube. It's something that I feel like is being talked about a lot at the moment. Obviously it's kind of always been talked about. Who can you trust? Is this person trustworthy? Is this review trustworthy? Sponsored videos where PR has been received, etc. But for me, I guess this has kind of really been something that's been talked and thought about a lot very recently. So the first thing that got me thinking was that Mel Thompson, Beautiful Mel, did the video tag, the truthful YouTuber tag, and that's been picked up by some bigger YouTubers recently, and so that's kind of just been provoking some interesting conversations and comments and things like that. I also think there's obviously a lot of YouTubers now, bigger beauty YouTubers, who are starting their own brands and who have affiliates with brands and things like that. And again, there's prompting a lot of conversations about, is this trustworthy? Is this just an affiliate? You know, is this sponsored video really an honest review? Things like that. And I also started to get questioned myself because my channel recently hit 20,000 subs, and I kind of talked about how this is kind of the point now I'm starting to have companies notice me, talk to me, want me to try their products. I was sent my first PR package by Sigma Beauty, which was amazing and very, very exciting for me, but then had this kind of negative side to it where one of my subscribers said, well, does this mean that you're not going to be honest anymore in reviews because you're getting PR, and that must mean that it's very hard to be honest because it was gifted to you. So that was very surprising to me and really made me start thinking about these things. Are people going to trust me now because they know that I'm starting to receive PR from places? Does that make me less trustworthy because I've grown slightly here on YouTube as far as my following? It just really prompted a lot of questions for me, and I know lots of you guys have lots of questions, and I know it's a common topic on YouTube, so I thought, let's chat about it. So the first kind of question that I have, the kind of thought that I have, is there seems to be this stigma about a certain size of YouTuber. So it seems like people are under the impression that because you're a bigger YouTuber, you're less trustworthy than a smaller YouTuber. And I've heard people say this. I remember Samantha March mentioned this in one of her videos where someone had said to her that they only follow channels under 100,000 subscribers, and she was like, oh right, so when I get to like 100,000 subscribers, I immediately become untrustworthy and you are no longer gonna follow me, which is a shame because obviously success on YouTube's, the way we measure success, it is growth, and generally if you're growing, you're gaining subscribers, you're getting more views, it's because you're doing a great job. So to then pass a certain point and people to say, well, don't trust you now because you've got more subscribers than I'm comfortable with, is a very strange and sad thought really to me. I mean, I'm first and foremost a subscriber myself. I've been on YouTube for many years as a viewer before I started my own channel, so I guess I look at things in that way because I'm still very much a YouTube fan. I'm still very engaged watching other people's beauty and makeup videos, so I guess I'm a part of the community of a lot of other channels as a commenter, as a viewer, and I don't feel that way at all. Like the YouTubers I watch, the beauty YouTubers I watch because I trust them. I want to hear their opinion, I want to hear their thoughts on products, and it doesn't make any difference to me if a video is sponsored, if it's an affiliate, if that product is they're friends with the brand owner or it's a collab or whatever. If I'm watching a YouTuber, it's because I trust them, I value their opinion, and that other stuff doesn't influence that to me. It doesn't make a difference to me. If it did, if I felt I couldn't trust them in those situations, I wouldn't be following them, I wouldn't be subscribed, I wouldn't bother watching them because what would be the point, I guess, is my how I look at things. So that's interesting to me because I guess I then started to look at it from the other side. Okay, so if we can't trust bigger YouTubers, and if I'm being told I can't be trusted once I receive PR, there's another side to that, because to me, if you're a smaller YouTuber like myself, you're trying to work very, very hard for brands to notice you and to recognise your channel, to become kind of a visible presence in the beauty community. And so I guess if we're saying we can't trust bigger YouTubers because they don't want to get kicked off a PR list, so you know they're not going to give an honest review because they're on a PR list and they don't want to stop receiving PR. But don't smaller YouTubers want to start receiving PR? So aren't they just as likely to potentially be untrustworthy because actually they're trying their best to get on a PR list? And believe me, it's much harder to get on a PR list than it is to stay on one. Once someone knows you're on the PR list, unless you know, drop off ratings wise or views wise, or you have a huge scandal or something like that, you're likely to stay on there, you know, if you maintain a relationship with that brand. And that doesn't mean liking every single one of their products. I know Raw Beauty Christie talked about that recently when she said, you know, no brand is expecting you to like every single one of their products. They aren't stupid. They know we have our preferences, we have different skin types, we have our comfort zones of what we like and what we prefer as far as makeup. And actually, if anyone did like every single product of that a brand puts out, it would be, you know, slightly strange if anything. So, you know, I just don't think many brands are really bothered when you don't get on with one of their products. I know that when brands have approached me and asked me to try something or to do a sponsored video or to review a product, they always put in their initial email, we would love you to do an honest review of our product. They actually want the feedback a lot of the time. I've never been approached by a brand who in any way has indicated they only want a positive review or a review that only contains positive information. Any brand that's contacted me has always said we would like your honest review. So I think actually a lot of this stuff is assumptions that aren't always correct. Now I will say I know that there are people who give dishonest reviews or who will accept every single sponsored video they are offered because they're just about, you know, making as much money as they want, as they possibly can. And they don't necessarily care whether they love the product or not. They just want to accept sponsored videos. I know someone said, commented on one of my videos saying, well, you know, I've never seen a sponsored video that wasn't mega positive or mega obsessed with this product, so it makes you think you can't trust them. But I think the other side of that is that, you know, people are very unlikely to accept an offer of a sponsored video if they don't like a product, and the majority of the time they'll have already tried it. So it's unlikely that you get offered a sponsored video on a product that you've never heard of. For me it happens because obviously I'm smaller, so what I'm getting offered is niche startup smaller brands who just want people to get their product talked about, in which case they'll send me their products, I'll try them, if I like them I'll do the video. And that's kind of how it works. If I tried it and I'm like, no, it's not for me, it hasn't worked for me, then generally we'll have a conversation and they'll say, you know, never mind, that's a shame, and the video won't happen. I'm not ever going to take a brand's money to bash their product. Do you know what I mean? That wouldn't sit well with me, and I think that's why you'll never really, I can't ever see you seeing a sponsored video that is overwhelmingly negative, because no brand is going to pay someone to bash their product. It wouldn't make any sense, and most YouTubers would never be comfortable taking a brand's money to bash a product or to say a product is poor. They're just going to say turn it down, because it's, you know, it doesn't make any business sense, it doesn't work for anybody. So realistically we're never going to see negative or poor product reviews that are sponsored. However, what we should be seeing are sponsored reviews that are balanced. So there are very few products that I own that even the ones I'm obsessed with, my holy grails, that I couldn't tell you one negative thing about, and that might just be the price. Maybe the price is high, maybe the shade range isn't perfect, it could do with some more shades, you know, in one area or another. Maybe there's an ingredient in there that, like perfume, you would rather it wasn't perfumed, etc. There's always something that, you know, will give you a more balanced review and that will be helpful for someone that it won't work for. And that's what I'd like to see more of in sponsored videos. And I think in the people I view and in my sponsored videos, you will see that, because I'm going to be honest with you, I love this product, but these things wouldn't work for this person, or maybe it won't work for you if you've got oily skin. I think that's great, and I think any brand knows their products, and that's fair. You know, no one wants to recommend products and then people spend their money and come for you when you've lied. Like, that is not a good situation. So I think it's always pays for everybody to be honest, because you're only going to end up with a reputation of, you know, remember when she said this was amazing and then everyone turned out to be useless. One big telltale for me as to whether you can trust someone's sponsored reviews is how often you see the person reach for that product or using that product post that sponsored review. So for example, if you see someone review a foundation, they tell you it's their all-time favourite holy grail foundation, the best foundation they've ever tried, they can't use anything else, it's amazing, that, you know, it's blown every other foundation off the market. And that's a sponsored video, and then you never see them use it in a video ever again. That to me is highly likely to be a unfair or an untruthful sponsored video, because why on earth wouldn't they be using it if it was all of the things they said that it was? And I have definitely seen some channels doing that, and I've seen some, like, you know, sponsored videos where something has been hyped to the gods and then we've never seen it again on that person's channel, or it's been in their favourites but you've never seen them use it prior to that favourites video, which could be legitimately that they just haven't got around to using it on camera. It could be true, but again, those are the things that for me makes me raise questions. I think the other thing is collabs. I think people always say, you know, if someone's collabed with a brand and they've got their name on a product, of course they're going to say it's amazing, or I can't trust you because you're biased. Or, you know, the same way someone is affiliate, like we talk about, you know, Jaclyn Hill gets destroyed for, you know, ever mentioning anything from Morphe, for example. And then you have things like people with their own brands, like Jeffree Star. Is he really ever going to come on and tell you what one of his products is like useless? No. But then also it wouldn't make sense. He's made these products, he's worked very hard to make the products good. So of course he believes in them, and of course he's going to tell you they're amazing, because if he didn't think they're amazing he wouldn't be putting them out for sale and risking his reputation. You know, so I think that's again one of these things where you can look at it from both sides. And actually I think Jeffree is incredibly honest from what I've seen of his channel as far as reviews, because I've seen him talk about his own products before, specifically the Christmas collection that's just gone, when he did a dark red and a deep like purple, like blackcurrant liquid lipstick, and he talked about how with those shades it's very, very hard to get as smooth or as good of an application as it is with, say, a nude, just because of the ingredients, I guess. I don't know the process, but he was very honest that this particular shade, I can't remember which shade it was, is going to take a little bit more building up to make it opaque, to make it perfect. It's going to be a little bit harder work for these reasons. And that was pretty impressive actually, because most people would have just sat there and said it's amazing, it's glorious, maybe pre-applied it to make it look better than it is. So I think that's impressive when people do that, even about their own products, because ultimately it stops people being disappointed or thinking there's something wrong with theirs or it's been falsely sold. It's, you know, Jeffree said that this lipstick is a bit harder to work with for this shade because of these reasons, so I know that this is what I'm getting. And I think that's really, really important. So who can we trust? Can we trust smaller YouTubers who are doing everything they can to get noticed by brands or to build their channel and to become a part of the beauty community? Can we trust bigger YouTubers who are, you know, part of this community, who have a big following, who have relationships with brands, who maybe even have their own brands and their own agendas to push? Can we trust YouTubers who sit somewhere in the middle? Can we trust YouTubers who have poor relationships with brands to review things fairly? Who can we trust? People who do lots of sponsored videos? Can we trust people who do no sponsored videos? Can we trust people who use products that they never seem to talk about again? I'd love to know what you guys think and who you think you can trust and why, whether you prefer smaller channels, whether you prefer bigger channels. I think a lot of this is, it's like a suspicion. I think based on a few YouTubers who have maybe spoilt it for the rest of us, or a few examples that have maybe made people a bit jaded or a bit suspicious or question certain practices that happen here on YouTube. But I think for me, the vast majority of people I follow, the people who do sponsored videos, they do them with really open, honest intentions, and they're just really telling you their thoughts. And it doesn't matter if something was gifted to them in PR. some people are receiving PR from every single brand going. They don't have to use it on their channel. If they're using it on their channel and it's not a sponsored video, the likelihood is it's because they enjoy the product. You know, just because you were gifted something, it doesn't make it any more likely or less likely that you're going to enjoy it or not. And I guess the chances are, if they've received a huge big PR box with hundreds of items in it from a brand, they're going to like and dislike some of the things in that box. That's just the odds. But I think I'd like to just see people be a little bit more open to trusting the people that they're choosing to follow. I think you start following someone because you like them, you value their opinion, you get, you know, you feel connected to them, you trust them. So I don't think that we need to start questioning them when they reach a certain size, or thinking that all of their values and their morals or their personality changes when they reach a certain size because they've been successful, and ultimately they've got to that size by being someone that we like to hang out with. That's what YouTube is about. And I think it's very unfair to suddenly start questioning someone's honesty because they've been successful here on YouTube. So I think really the main advice I want to give you is to trust your gut, how you feel about that person, what you've noticed about that person, what you see them do and what they say. Are they the same things? You know, do you see them using products time and time again that they say they love? Because that seems quite likely that they do genuinely love it. Does it look good? Are they putting it on and then blinding you with lights and filters and showing you how good it looks? Or does it really look good? Do you agree with them? It looks good, so, you know, that's probably the truth. Anyway, it's just a conversation that I wanted to start and to open with you guys, to get us talking about honesty and to get us thinking about who we trust, who we don't trust, and why. And is it fair? Is it, you know, granted that we don't trust these people? Or are we perhaps making all these assumptions that are quite unfair, jumping to conclusions that don't really have much basis to them? I just want to have a little chat with you guys about it, really. Truth and honesty here on YouTube, it does still exist, I promise. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I would love to see you in a future one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.